Hello my friends, this is Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Thanks so much for tuning in. In this video we're going to talk about how I ended up repairing the slow leak that I had in this rear tire. We'll go through the whole process of what I did to find the leak, and then how I take apart the tire, how I put the tire back together, and also I'm going to show you how I used the Gorilla Tape to tape up the rim of this tire. So stay tuned, we'll go through the whole process and we'll fix this thing. So let's go check it out. This video is sponsored by Rhino Wallets. Rhino Wallets are slim wooden wallets that look really cool and are made to be worn in any pocket without having that big old dad wallet bulge. These wallets offer the same functionality as traditional wallets, like holding your credit cards and cash, but offer you an added bonus. They're lightweight and they look freaking awesome. My friends at Rhino Wallets have been kind enough to offer all RGMTB viewers a discount, and you can find a link to their site and the code for that discount in the description of this video. On top of that, they're also going to give away one wallet to a lucky subscriber. The information for that giveaway can also be found in the description of this video. I'd like to send a huge thank you out to Rhino Wallets for supporting RGMTB, so please folks, go send them some love and check out their website. Okay my friends, let's go jump back into the video. So in order to fix this slow leak, the first thing I had to do was actually find out where the leak was coming from. So I connected the pump up to the tire and I started filling up the tire with some air. After the tire was all filled up with air, I then washed the tire down with soapy water, and lo and behold, there was my leak. It was coming out of one of the spokes. So what I did was I took some electric tape and I marked that spoke so I knew exactly which one was leaking on me. So now that I know where the actual leak's coming from, I took all the air out of the tire, and then I used my hands to break the bead, and then I used these Park rubber coated tire levers to actually help me finish the job in taking the tire off of the rim. So I didn't want to get all the sealant all over the deck, so I used this KOM cycling syringe to, I guess, suck all the sealant out of the tire. I store it in a cup, and then I'll actually use it later on when I put everything back together again. So just a few things left to do. I got the tire completely off the rim. Then I washed the whole wheel down just to get all the old sealant and all the junk off of it. Dried it, and then I also took the valve out. This is a pretty cool one. It's by E13. It allows you to screw it and lock it in there nicely. I'll have links to all this stuff down in the description below. I really like the way this thing works. So after examining the wheel, I found the culprit. There was a hole in the tape, and that's where the air was leaking out. So the Gorilla Tape is actually wider than the rim, so I wanted to find a nice way to actually figure out how wide it needed to be. So I put the Gorilla Tape on the rim, and then I measured and cut off the excess so I knew exactly how wide the tape needed to be when I wanted to use it later on to wrap the rim. Now having the width measured out, I put that little bit of tape on the actual full roll, and notice how I know where to rip, and I just ripped that little piece off and just ripped all the way down, and that's how wide the tape was going to be that I was going to wrap around the rim. Notice that I'm not really very good at this, but I did eventually get the whole thing ripped and ready to go. So with the tape measured correctly and ripped, I just then applied it to the rim and pressed it down with my thumb inside of the channel to fit it in nicely. Notice I am wrapping this on top of the existing tape. I just decided to do that instead of taking the old tape off. With the tape fully applied, I just kind of went around with my fingers and made sure it was pushed down, and I got all the bubbles out. I also used an X-Acto knife to cut a hole for the valve, and then once that was done, I then reinserted and installed the E13 valve back in the rim. Okay, now it's time to put everything back together again. Make sure if you have directional tires, you put them on correctly. I seem to always screw that up. Then you're just looking to go and put the tire back on the rim. I like to do that by hand. I'm not a big fan of levers for something like this. I usually can muscle it on myself, and that's what I did here. So with the tire just about on the wheel, I now have to add the sealant. I'll generally add in around 2 ounces of sealant. You can see that right here. You'll also notice that I'm not actually using this KOM syringe the way it's designed to be used. Usually you put that long tube through the valve, the air valve, and you don't have to go and do what I'm doing right now. You can put the bead on and then put the sealant in through the valve, but the E13 ones didn't allow me to do that, so I just took my time, didn't spill anything, and popped that little bead on by hand. This part really surprised me. Usually I have to use a compressor to seat the bead, but I figured I'd give this Lezyne pump a try, and lo and behold, it did a wonderful job, and it actually was able to seat the bead for me, and I was pretty happy about that. So there you go, my friends. Gorilla Tape installed, sealant, tire, everything put back together. I just wanted to spin it around a little bit, and then I did a check. I got some soapy water, and I kind of rubbed it back on the spoke that was bubbling, and notice no bubbles, all good. Okay, folks, there you have it. That's how I ended up fixing the rear tire over here. No more slow leak. In fact, I've been riding on this rear tire for about a month now, and everything's been great. Tell you what, if you have any advice, if you have any tips, any comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you think. Should I have done anything different? I don't know. Everything's working pretty good, but give me your tips. All right? As always, keep the party on the pedals, my friends, and I will catch you in the next video. See you later.